Please subscribe, share, and like to this channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon. Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro is an archaeological site in the province of Sindh, Pakistan. Built around 2500 BCE, it was one of the largest settlements of the ancient Indus Valley Civilization, and one of the world's earliest major cities, contemporaneous with the civilizations of ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, Minoan Crete, and Norte Chico. Mohenjo-daro was abandoned in the 19th century BCE as the Indus Valley Civilization declined, and the site was not rediscovered until the 1920s. Significant excavation has since been conducted at the site of the city, which was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1980. The site is currently threatened by erosion and improper restoration. Etymology. The city's original name is unknown. Based on his analysis of a Mohenjo-daro seal, Iravatam Mahadevan speculates that the city's ancient name could have been Kukutarma, the city, Rama, of the cockerel, Kukuta. Cockfighting may have had ritual and religious significance for the city, with domesticated chickens bred there for sacred purposes, rather than as a food source. Mohenjo-daro may also have been a point of diffusion for the eventual worldwide domestication of chickens. Mohenjo-daro, the modern name for the site, has been variously interpreted as Mound of the Dead Men in Sindhi, and as Mound of Mohan, where Mohan is Krishna. Location. Map showing the major sites and theorized extent of the Indus Valley Civilization, including the location of the Mohenjo-daro site. Mohenjo-daro is located west of the Indus River in Larkana district, Sindh, Pakistan, in a central position between the Indus River and the Ghaggar-Hakra River. It is situated on a Pleistocene ridge in the middle of the floodplain of the Indus River Valley, around 28 kilometers, 17 miles, from the town of Larkana. The ridge was prominent during the time of the Indus Valley Civilization, allowing the city to stand above the surrounding flood, but subsequent flooding has since buried most of the ridge in silt deposits. The Indus still flows east of the site, but the Ghaggar-Hakra riverbed on the western side is now dry. Historical context. Mohenjo-daro was built in the 26th century BCE. It was one of the largest cities of the ancient Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization, which developed around 3000 BCE from the prehistoric Indus culture. At its height, the Indus civilization spanned much of what is now Pakistan and North India, extending westwards to the Iranian border, south to Gujarat in India and northwards to an outpost in Bactria, with major urban centers at Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Kalibangan, Dholavira, and Rakhigarhi. Mohenjo-daro was the most advanced city of its time, with remarkably sophisticated civil engineering and urban planning. 13. When the Indus civilization went into sudden decline around 1900 BCE, Mohenjo-daro was abandoned. Rediscovery and excavation. The ruins of the city remained undocumented for around 3,700 years until R.D. Banerjee, an officer of the Archaeological Survey of India, visited the site in 1919-20, identifying what he thought to be a Buddhist stupa, 150 to 500 CE, known to be there, and finding a flint scraper which convinced him of the site's antiquity. This led to large-scale excavations of Mohenjo-daro led by Kashinath Narayan Dikshit in 1924-25, and John Marshall in 1925-26. In the 1930s, major excavations were conducted at the site under the leadership of Marshall, D. K. Dikshiter and Ernest Mackay. Further excavations were carried out in 1945 by Mortimer Wheeler and his trainee, Ahmad Hussain Dani. The last major series of excavations were conducted in 1964 and 1965 by George F. Dales. After 1965, excavations were banned due to weathering damage to the exposed structures, and the only projects allowed at the site since have been salvage excavations, surface surveys, and conservation projects. In the 1980s, German and Italian survey groups led by Michael Janssen and Maurizio Tosi used less invasive archaeological techniques, such as architectural documentation, surface surveys, and localized probing, to gather further information about Mohenjo-daro. A dry core drilling conducted in 2015 by Pakistan's National Fund for Mohenjo-daro revealed that the site is larger than the unearthed area.